Hello, this is Roland. Welcome. I would like to talk about love. What love is. Most people don't know what love is. They have no idea. Love is from our Creator. See, God is our closest relative. He made us. And originally, you remember how it was in the Garden of Eden before the fall. Adam and Eve, they were in paradise. They could have lived forever on a wonderful journey of discovery, a wonderful adventure, traveling through God's great universe and discovering of Him, experiencing His love, and discovering His handiwork. Okay? It would have been beautiful. But Adam, of course the serpent was there, very clever. And Adam was probably kind of naive. In fact, he was naive. He didn't know anything about serpents and about evil and deceit. He was kind of dumb. Okay? I'm sure he was very smart, but I mean he was dumb in such things. And so he was an easy mark. Easy mark. And the serpent said, hey, why don't you, he put doubt in Adam's mind. He said, through Eve. He approached Eve. See, the serpent was clever. He approached Eve. I don't know who knows what he said, but whatever he said. She went and said it to Adam, told Adam. See? Which is fine. That's what she did. She told Adam. Well, Adam should have said no. Father said we're not to eat of the tree. And so we won't eat it. See, that would have been the end of it. But unfortunately, Adam lent an ear, and he kind of liked the idea. See, he may have started thinking about it, imagining. See, one of the things hypnotists do, professional hypnotists, the ones that do stage hypnotism, or the ones who do street hypnotism, or the ones who do clinical hypnotism, the ones who do hypnotism on the cruise ship or in Las Vegas. It's a real phenomenon. And they look for easy marks. I mean, they do little tests. They say, well, raise your hands, put one palm up and one palm down, and they do that sort of thing. And then they do the hand clenching thing. They do have different techniques. What they want to do is find out who is easily hypnotized. But the other thing they do, which is what I was getting at, is they encourage imagination. They use clever words to paint word pictures to get people imagining this and imagining that. And that's why false meditations will always use visualizations. See? But perhaps the serpent said, hey, imagine how great it would be if you had all this knowledge. Think how you could impress your wife. And who knows what he said. Adam went for it. He fell for it. Well, then you know what happened. A separation came between him and God. Now, instead of walking in the light, he walked in darkness. And the light trailed him as conscience. See, after he did what he did, he knew he messed up. And he was sorry, too. If you read the lost books of the Bible, there's a particular version that's excellent. It tells you the whole story of Adam. Okay, the long version. He was sorry. But unfortunately, the die was cast, and then he had children, and they were born of the lineage of Adam and Eve, the lineage of sin, the lineage of the fallen Adam. And so we're all of that lineage. And so we're born into a family with fallen parents in a fallen society, fallen authorities. See, in a world of culture replacing civilization. See, what they had in the Garden of Eden before the fall was civilization. Now you have culture. replacements, compensations, but they're not the same as the original thing. Well, okay, so now, so what point was I getting at? Well, okay, so Adam fell, and he became separated from God. Okay, so now here's what I want you to see. I was talking about love, what love is. So you have now fallen people, imperfect people, unaware people, see, and people who are, because we're born into this fallen world, which the devil rules. So everywhere you look, there's deceit, betrayal, cruelty, violence. Starts in the home. In the home, you have cruelty, violence, confusion, intrigue, resentments, hatreds. Okay? Sometimes underneath, under the cover, you don't see it on the surface, but it's underneath. All of this going on. All over the world, everywhere you go, it's the same. And so there you are in this fallen world with fallen people, all of them needing love, none of them having love. But what do they have then? So all you have is fallen people, comforting fallen people like a drunk holding a drunk up. And everyone has this ego. See, we inherit this kernel of this ego that, like from our parents all the way back to Adam, that wants to be God, wants to play God, and we don't admit we're wrong. And the human race has this shame in its past, this unhappy origin. Have you ever seen you probably haven't. You probably haven't, but maybe some of you have. If you haven't, look for it. Norman Rockwell, he was a great painter, very great painter. He painted some beautiful scenes of American people. He was a great observer of people. He could capture a tender moment or a special moment. Okay. But anyway, he had this family tree. If you haven't seen it, you got to find it. It's a family tree. I'm sure you've seen family trees, where it shows the little baby and then the parents and then the grandparents and the great-grandparents and the great-great-grandparents. Okay? But this family tree shows this lovely, wonderful little child and this very handsome, nice-looking mom and dad, okay, and then grandma and grandpa weren't so bad. But then as you keep going back in the family tree, eventually, a long time ago, it was like a pirate and some dance hall gal that the pirate, you see, something like that. It's just so funny. So anyway, that's pretty much the way it is. Okay? So you have the imperfect people in an imperfect world. And so all we can basically do, we humans, is all we know how to do is cater to other egos, to tease other egos, excite other egos, challenge other egos, fool other egos, motivate egos. See, the devil was the first motivator, wasn't he? Hey, why don't you get some knowledge, get some education? Then you can have power, you can have wealth. So all we know how to do is motivate and tease and challenge. And then comfort. Motivate, tease, challenge, and then comfort people. Comfort egos. Assuage egos. Okay? Reassure egos. Okay? So we have all these people full of doubt because we're separated from faith. We don't have faith, so we have doubt. And so people go around and they reassure each other, holding each other up like two drunks holding each other up. And we offer substitute love, food and derivatives of food, to comfort people. Drink and then alcohol and then marijuana and these substitutes to comfort people, To what? And what kind of comfort is it? What is our comfort, basically? Yeah, we reassure people and we offer them excuses. Oh, you're okay the way you are. And we have make-believe religions and everything is make-believe, pretending that everything is fine when it's not fine. So what are we doing? We're trying to deny that we're denying the truth. See, denying reality. See, that's what we're doing. And trying to comfort people into unawareness. Take away the symptoms of the wrong and then give them marijuana or alcohol or something, or reassurances or lies, hypnotize them with lies so that they feel that everything's fine when it's not fine. Take away their conscience so they can feel okay the way they are. So all around the world you have all these religious practices which are meditations and false ones, not the true one. The true one brings you back to awareness, back to reality. But there are many false ones, and rituals and chanting and music and just to comfort, reassure, hypnotize, assuage. And then, of course, to get people to function, well, then they're prodded and poked and challenged and teased. So you have tease and then comfort, tension and release. See, that's all the love that people know. So no wonder you feel so. It's a loveless world, but there is love, and it's from the Father. Now the Father's love, God's love, and He sent Christ. Remember, it said in the Bible, God so loved the world. And the word so doesn't mean so much. It just means in this way, God loved the world. That's what it means. God so, thus. In this way, God loved the world. That He gave His only begotten Son. Okay? That whosoever should believe on Him should have everlasting life. So in other words, God loved. How does He love us? He rescues us. Well, He brings us back. He restores us. And it's a big process to be restored because we've fallen so low. We need to be restored to how Adam and Eve were before they fell. And then even beyond that. See, restored even beyond that. That's what His love is. Okay? And then, as He restores us, and that's why we have to be born again. There has to be a new creature, a new pattern, a new identity. See, not the old fallen, egotistical, prideful, hateful, rebellious, naughty one, which is what we inherit. See, we inherit a little bit of that, and then we would be maybe okay, except for the tease and cruelty that makes us angry and resentful, and teases us and challenges us to become bigger and bigger egos. And then when we do become bigger and bigger egos and more prideful, see, and do more and more wrong things at their behest, it's not our fault, see. We do what the authorities tell us to do. Then we acquire guilt. Now that guilt would be good if the person could if they had a love of truth, so much love of truth, that they would bear the guilt. Okay? Just bear the truth, in other words. See their wrong, regret their wrong. See? But most people, what do? They resent it. They resent the truth. They resent seeing their wrong. And so what keeps people wrong? Comfort. See? The excessive tease and cruelty and confusion and betrayal and challenges, that would drive us to the point that we would cry out in guilt. See, for what has happened, what's happening to us. We see ourselves changing for the worse, and we don't like what we see. But then the ones that drove you, the ones that challenged you, the ones that teased you, they come along and then they comfort you. They give you more money for being ambitious, for cutting corners. See, more money for giving yourself completely to coach, so the coach can win. See, then they give you a lot of money for that. So they give you money, and they leave you alone if you keep your mouth shut. Don't rock the boat. See, go along to get along. If you become a people pleaser, then they like that. See. So you see what the world does then. Well, so we need God's love. Because what I was going to say is that when you begin again, when you're born again, when there's a new identity and it begins to grow, now through all the experiences in the world, see, there's a passage in the Bible that says Christ became perfect. He became perfect, it says, through all of the trials and sufferings that he underwent. See, so the trials, the betrayals, the sufferings, the tribulation, the cruelty, the meanness, the confusion, the deceit, those things you can use. See, and the hate and resentment. You can use those to grow by not responding to them. See, by not responding with hate and with anger, and by not doing unto others what they did to you. By standing back and remaining patient, observing, watching, and not responding, then you grow in character. See, you grow in strength. Yes, so you're now on a journey of adventure again. But this time, instead of going through a paradise, this time it's a jungle hell. Okay? With crocodiles and alligators and, so to speak, treacherous people everywhere, deceitful people, so on. So now we go through with dignity, with poise, with patience. See, with the help of the meditation that I have, which shows you how to become still, how to get centered, how to come back to the inner light. See, then you come back to the inner light, and then you have the inner light with you, and then this new creature who remains loyal and obedient to God by not hating. You remain obedient to God by not hating, by not judging, by not resenting. See, you remain obedient. And then he rewards you for that obedience. And he comforts you. And you have his love, and his warmth, and his light, and he teaches you privately, inwardly. You begin to understand things. You begin to see. And the more you see how people are imperfect and fallen, and they can't help themselves. They're totally corrupted. The more you see that, the more you can have patience with them. See? So his love is, you could say it's a corrective love. See, he doesn't love you the way you are, a fallen creature, an egotistical creature, a weak creature, a suggestible creature, which is what we are. See? Instead, he gives you a new identity, and then he, through all the trials and tribulations that you go, it causes you to go, to reach more and more within, see, to the Creator. And then he rewards you for not hating people, not resenting them. See? My name is Roland.